Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Syberia YouTube channel. Today is a very exciting video from me. My name is Erica. It is my first video as part of the Syberia YouTube team. I am very excited. I'm also going to combine this video with the first ever monthly challenge. So on the screen right now, you're seeing some colors, and this is a color graphic. I am going to start die cutting and do some fun stuff here on screen while I chat a little bit about the challenge. So this has been a long time in the making, and now it is finally here. So on the 1st of every month until the 28th of every month, there will be a new challenge. So there will each one will have a color inspiration and either a theme or a technique. So you don't have to use the color with the theme or the technique, as long as you have either the colors or use the theme or the technique, those cards are eligible. And then some of these projects that will be submitted will be picked to be showcased on the Syberia social media, of course, and then a random winner will win a £20 gift card. So, let your imagination run free. I am going to dive back into the chit chat of the video itself, and then I will list all the details of the challenge down in the description box as well. Now, I have decided to kind of make a bit of a faux shaker card here. So the theme for this month, along with that color inspiration, luscious colors by the way, is shaker. I am not super great at shaker cards. I don't know why, but I thought I'd do like a faux shaker instead. So I'm going to use both the positive and the negative pieces from this die cut. This is the Modern Stripes cover die. So on screen right now, I am pressing a piece of press and seal onto all of the pieces. I did miss a teeny tiny little corner piece, but that's okay. So the press and seal basically holds your paper in place without, anything shifting. And this is great for when you want to do inlay techniques. And I'm kind of doing like, I guess I want to say like a reverse inlay technique where I want all of the pieces, the negative pieces that I'm punching out right now, I want them to stay in the same place so that the pattern is going to be exactly the same as with the positive piece. So you can see I'm kind of wiggling everything out here. I'm trying to be gentle so that everything stays in place, because the press and seal is tacky, but it's not super gluey. So you do have to be a little bit careful. And then on the back of these, we're going to add a little bit of liquid glue. Don't use too much, because what we're going to do is we're going to press this onto clear acetate to create our kind of shaker window. Now, I did mention that this is going to be like faux shaker cards, so I have a couple of little tricks up my sleeves, because one of the things that I find difficult with shaker cards is that oftentimes, even when I use an anti-static tool, the shaker bits tend to stick to my either foam tape or my glued together pieces. So I thought, what is a great way to kind of make a card look like it's a shaker card, but like kind of mid-shake, so all of the sequins and all of the sparkles are all out and like being seen. So I thought, this got to be a better way of doing this. So this is what I come up with. And I must admit, I've never done this before. This was a complete kind of experiment. But I think you will be very pleased to see how the results turned out. So on both of these pieces, I have put glue on the back, and then we are pressing a little bit of acetate to the back. And then we're going to kind of firmly, but not too firm, press down to make sure that everything sticks. And then we're going to set these aside so that they dry. And then we're going to play with the Fantasy Flowers die set. We're going to use the same colors that I showed you in the beginning. And I'm going to use a little compact cutter from Hero Arts to cut all of these pieces out. I am going to speed this up because I was here die cutting for like half an hour. So I was on a bit of a roll. I might have gone a tad overboard with the flowers, but I really love the set. So I was just having so much fun. So, and also I didn't know exactly how many flowers I needed for each one of the cards, because I had a general idea what I wanted to do, but unsurprisingly, the final cards actually turned out nothing like that, flower wise anyway. So I've gone ahead and I've used all of these luscious colors from Concord and Ninth. I have used Nectar, Buttercup. It is also Aqua Sky, Oceanside, and Midnight. So the 5 colors. Now I did originally think that I was going to have like the stamens inside of the flowers be blue, but I changed my mind kind of halfway through because it just didn't quite look right. So the only bit that is actually midnight on the flowers themselves is like the little middle, kind of like the seed, I guess, in the middle of the flower. But I really, really enjoyed how these turned out. And then I decided I was not going to mess around with the leaves until I actually had my card base done. So on the back of this, I trimmed down the excess acetate as well. So this is not, it's actually completed now. So you got your die cut, you got your acetate, and then I'm going to be adding some of these foam strips from waffle flowers. So these are super handy to use because they are already cut, really nice thin strips, and the backing paper comes off like so easy. It's incredible. These are definitely worth spending money on. So I'm not going to be adding these to every single piece here. So we're going to need to leave some gaps every now and again because we're still going to need to add in some of the sparkly elements. But the reason I'm doing this is so that it will be kind of flattish. So we don't want it to sag in, places. So here, now we're going to add our sparkle elements. So these are the sparkling clear sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. I really love these clear ones because they just go with everything. And now here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to glue these down. Yes, I know, radical idea, right? For a shaker card. So it's going to be a non-shaking shaker card. But I like faux shaker better because it kind of sounds a little bit more fancy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a lot of these to the actual panel. And then we're going to use a little bit of liquid glue to glue these down. And I know what you're thinking, oh, you're going to be able to see the glue. A little bit, yes. But most glues clear dry. Clear dry? Dries clear. So eventually it will be like nothing. Like they're magically stuck on there. So this is just, I wasn't really sure this was going to work at this point still, but I'm like, you know what? I'm committed now. We're going to go for it. So I was like, okay, I'm all in. Let's do it. So here, obviously, now you'll be able to see that the liquid is still wet, hence like the white dots. But once this dried, it actually dried clear, so it looks super, super fun. And on our second piece, I have another idea. I know, so many ideas. So here we are going to add a little bit of funness to the background. So with some about 2, maybe 2.5 inch wide double-sided tape, we're going to add these strips of cardstock. So these are the same colors as showing you in the beginning. And I just cut them using I think it was a 1/4 of an inch wide strip die. And it just makes sure that every single piece is perfectly straight and perfectly the same size. So it's very pleasing to the eye. And then we're going to add these to our card base. And I did have to do a little bit of kind of strip surgery to fit the last sort of few pieces on there. I should have maybe measured the pieces properly beforehand, but I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to add the cover die on top of this, so maybe it won't matter so much. And you can always place a little something on top as well. Now here I was thinking, do I do this one or do I do this one? And immediately I thought, you know what, this is the way, this is the one. So we are definitely going to do this this combination. So with the kind of faux glue down shaker element things. And then the other one we're going to use on a different background. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more of these foam strips from waffle flower to our, I guess this is the negative side. And then I have an idea here. So I wanted to do kind of similar. So I've marked out where the strips of foam tape is on the card panel where it's going to go. And I just lightly marked it with a pencil. And then I am going to add a very, very generous sprinkling of sequins here. And these are, again, the same pretty pink, posh, clear, sparkling clear ones. The only thing I will say here is because I was kind of thinking of a slightly different design, I went a little bit crazy with the sequins, because you will see in the end, you know, I placed the flowers slightly different where I originally thought. So I probably could have, maybe what I should have done is I should have added the flowers to the front first and then added the sequins after. That would have been a much smarter idea. So memo to self, an idea for you, or top tip for you. So here you can see my panels are done. It kind of looks very shakery, but without anything kind of falling off and falling out, and you don't have to worry about anything sticking where it's not supposed to stick. And it's going to be very, very sparkly in the end anyway. And this is what I meant with the backing tape being so easy to come off. It's literally like grab and pull. So easy. So easy. And honestly, when it comes to foam tape, if you've used a bad one, then you know what I mean. It is one of the most frustrating things ever. So here on this white background, I decided, you know what, I'm going to add my flowers and all my very, very pretty leaves. And this was where things kind of spun out of control a little bit. I had originally planned on maybe using one of each of the sizes and the color. So one big peach or nectar color flower, one little one, and then a big yellow one and a small yellow one. And then I just ended up adding all of them. Yeah, I was on a flower roll. There was no stopping me. So I just kind of went to town. But I must say, I really, really love these flowers. And I think they just kind of make such a fun, bright statement as well. So this is not a very kind of finding in nature color scheme. However, I thought it was such a fun one, and I just decided, you know what, if I'm gonna go and do this, let's do all of it. Let's use all of it. So I did. And then when I was happy with the placement, again, I used another much bigger piece of press and seal this time, and this one is a little bit newer and a little bit stickier. So I was able to press down and pick up everything in one go. And then there was just a little bit of rearranging of the stems and a couple of the leaves, and that was it. So I'm not going to have to spend hours trying to get everything back in the same position. You just add your glue to the back. And if you wanted a lot of dimension here, you could actually add foam tape to some of these as well. But I decided, because there's already some dimension and layers with the background, I thought we're just going to put these down flat. And then we're going to peel and reveal. And everything just stays where it's supposed to go. It is magic. I love press and seal. It is such a good hack to have in your craft room. And even though this was sparkly, I realized, you know, this is where I'd gone wrong, because I had basically covered up all of those sequins in the middle. So I decided to tuck a few more in so that it would be a little bit sparkly around the edge here. And this is where I think it would have been a really smart idea of me to put the flowers down first and then decide where the sequins were going to go on the background, because it would have saved a fair few sequins, and they would all have been visible. So definitely the way to go if you want to try this faux shaker technique. I did also go ahead and tuck in a few more sequins in the bouquet, because it just, yeah, I can't say no to bling. It's one of those things. I'm a blingaholic, so I will always spice up my cards with a little bit of extra bling. And this is the two final kind of backgrounds, and then it was time to work on some sentiments. So I decided to go for the Foxtrot alphabet die set, and again use the Buttercup cardstock. I wanted the card to say, "Hey Sunshine." So I'm cutting out all of the letters that I need for that using my Hero Arts compact cutter again. And it is so brilliant because all of the letters are already cut out in the die set. So you just pick out the ones you need. No need to spend time, you know, cutting them apart or trying to keep everything in one set. You know, you just, yeah, it's brilliant. I really, really love the way that Syberia does the die cuts. brilliant, brilliant. So I only had to do this twice in order to be able to spell Hey Sunshine. And I also actually, I did turn the S's upside down as well. But I thought I'm going to put them kind of right in the middle of the card. And I did end up changing it slightly. But I did pick up a really cool little trick here. Because the letters are really, really skinny. It's very easy to make a big mess with the glue when you stick them down. So what I realized was if you use a little bit of washi tape or Post-it tape, you put down your glue and then you leave it to cure for a little while. Don't stick it down right away. So you leave it to cure until it's almost kind of not completely clear, because then it's dry, but it needs to be a little bit tacky, but not that real wetness. And then you can stick them down and you don't get such a big mess. So I learned something as well along the card making here. The flowery card got a white and blue hello, and I thought that the midnight blue of the backing of the hello just really kind of made it stand out, and it just kind of kept everything quite cohesive with the midnight blue in the flowers, and it kind of brought in that blue element as well from the color combo challenge graphic as well. I used a lot of words there just to say from the color inspiration chart. But that is it from me for today. I really, really hope you've enjoyed my first video and that you will join in with the challenge. And with that, oh, also don't forget to subscribe to the Syberia YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you very, very soon again. Bye for now.